Okay, guys, sorry it took so long, but Rocky had doctor's appointments, then I had doctor's appointments. That's been a mess. So we left off. We went over chapter 5. I want to go over chapter 6, and this one is Job's response to Eliphaz. So he first starts out saying the same thing he basically was saying in chapter 3, talking about his anguish and his pain, and he wished that God would crush him. Once again, it's not because he's complaining, it's because he still thinks God has forsaken him. He thinks God has forsaken him, basically, that God doesn't love him, and that he's forgotten about him, and that he's not there with him when he's going through all these hard times. And he says, let's see, they would outweigh all the sands of the, if I were to measure all my griefs, they would outweigh the sands of the earth. That is why I spoke impulsively. Eliphaz. Not that he needed to make an excuse for himself, but he's just like, that's why I spoke this way. And he talks about all the things that he's gone through, the mental, the physical, emotional things that he's going through. He can't eat, he can't sleep. Oh, that I might have a request that God would grant me my desire. I wish he would crush me. I wish he'd reach out his hand and kill me. Once again, he's not throwing a tantrum here. Job is saying, I would rather God kill me than to what's the word? Y'all know me. Y'all know I forget words. Forsake. I didn't even read it. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Than for him to forsake me. I would rather God to crush me, to kill me, get this thing over with, than to be forsaken by God. And when we get down to where Job is now speaking to his friend, and with his own words, in his own way, Job's like, basically, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. One should be kind to a family friend, don't you think? But you accused me without any fear of the Almighty. My brother, you have proved as unreliable as a seasonal brook that overflows its banks in the spring when it's swollen with ice melting snow. But when the hot weather arrives, the water disappears, the brook vanishes in the heat. Let me put it in Christina verbiage. Soon as stuff gets hot, soon as stuff gets hard, you're out. You don't want nothing to do with it. But when I'm high on the top of the mountain, when you see that I'm the richest man and I'm doing this and I'm a kind man and I've got a good reputation in the tabernacle and I've got a good reputation around the town, oh, then you want to be my friend. Then you want to be my friend. But when I'm going through, you immediately want to blame me. I can get his grief. I can understand where Job is coming from. Because there are two types of people. There are people that are in your life. They're there for you when you're at the lowest moments. They're there for you when you're at the highest moments. And then there are those people that are there for you when things are good and things are going good. But when things are going bad, it's like, I'm out. But I love the way that Job put that. You're as useless as a brook that when the snow swells up and it gets full of water and looks good, but man, as soon as that heat hits it, bam, it's gone. And then he's talking to his other friends. He's like, you two have given no help. Like, in my hard time, you've given no help to me. And then he's like, you have seen my calamity. Are you afraid? But why? Have I ever asked you for a gift? So they're coming up with all these excuses because they're afraid that Job's going to ask for money. That Job's going to ask for a gift. Trifling, friends. That's when you should help a brother or sister out, is when they're in need. Especially if you call them a family friend. Oh my word, mercy. And he's continuously saying to them, stop assuming my guilt. Like I said in the first couple videos that I did, I don't know what hurt Job worse. The fact that he was going through all of this, or the way his people that are supposed to be his support group are treating him. All of them are like, his wife cursed God and die. His friends, you sinner. Like, everybody that he's supposed to have that's supposed to support him is just gone. They're just gone. And so I think, but as I'm reading this, I'm so sorry, guys. As I'm reading this, the main theme that I continue to see over and over is Job's grief off of his perceived him perceiving being forsaken by God. That's what has hurt him. You know, he's not throwing a fit per se because of all losing his stuff, because his kids died. He says, first thing he says, God gives, God takes away. His wife says, just curse God and die already, Job. And he's like, be quiet, silly woman. Can God not give and but also take away? So that's not Job's ish at all through here. Job's problem is that he feels that his God has forsaken him. And while he's still, as he said in chapter 3, the thing I feared the most is happening to me. The thing he fears the most is his God forsaking him. And now not only does he feel like, sometimes we got to be careful what we perceive. Sometimes we got to be careful that we have a right perception. We can't just put God in the same place we put man. Because, yeah, man's going to fail us from one time to another. It's going to happen. But God does not fail. His word says, I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. I don't know if that was around when Job was there or not. I don't know. So, we got to be careful what we perceive. So, chapter 6 was like really short. And a lot of the rest of the Job is a lot of back and forth. So, do you want me to still keep sharing like chapter by chapter? Or should I start lumping these in together like by conversation? Because it's like Job answers Eliphaz, and then 7, Job cries out to God. Let's see. 8, Bildad's first response to Job. Oh, that should be good. 9, Job's response to Bildad. So, how do you want me to do it? I can do it chapter by chapter and try to get one out every day. Or if you'd like, I can try to do like when it's in chapter, let's see. I would probably do chapter 7 by itself. But then like chapter 8 where it says Bildad's first response to Job and then Job's response to Bildad. I would probably put those two together at like a conversation. Let me know what you think. This has been good. I've been enjoying this. I've just been super busy with stuff. I meant to do this Monday, but I had a doctor's appointment early yesterday morning, so that did not happen. So sorry it's late, but I really enjoyed this. So I will be coming to you guys tomorrow night, hopefully, with chapter 7. And then we'll just go from there. Alright, God bless you guys.